There we go. Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. We're back with the Ted Show. I always love having musical guests on, and today we're lucky enough to have Sophia Warren on the show. What's up, Sophia? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I love your background. You got the
Thank you.
guitar up there.
Thank
Your
you.
whole corner looks so much better than this. I don't know what's happening behind me, but we're focused on you today, though. So that's the best plan. All right. So tell us about you. We love origin story on the show. People always like to know. Were you the starving artist? Have you had all this angst in the world, and that's where you get your motivation? They kind of want to know your story. So give us a little details on that, if you would.
So I kind of started singing at a very young age, and I was like that defiant child who I'm like, I'm not going to sing. And my parents were like, you should sing and you should go out and you should write. I'm like, no, I'm going to do my own thing because I'm 5 years old and I don't really know anything yet. So they got me into vocal lessons at a young age. I wasn't really feeling it. And then when I turned 12 and went on my like quote unquote emo angsty 12-year-old phase that everybody goes through. I started listening to music, and I started really listening to lyrics and listening to bands like, My Chemical Romance and Panic at the Disco. And I was like, whoa, this is like really cool how they have this like community and they're very focused on mental health and they're saving people's lives with their music. And I was like, I want to do this. I have an all right voice. Why not? And I was like, I want to create this community. I want to create this safe space for somebody. I mean, that's like my main goal in my music and my dream. So been the past 4 years. I mean, I've been working towards that.
So I love that. I don't know if I've ever had an artist come on and talk about that. Although I know in their minds they love that. They have a passion usually for that. But it sounds like you've incorporated that into your whole mission.
Mm-hmm.
Your music is your mission, or your music is your work, but you also want to create the environment. Talk about that, especially during the pandemic. How were you able to shift and kind of help take other people along in that safe environment? Because for artists like you, everything came to a complete halt.
Yeah.
You had to pivot. You had to figure out, all right, I'm not doing live performances anymore. Now what? So talk a little bit about that, because I think the safe environment is such a cool thing that you talk about.
So I've been trying to work on an EP and get music out literally again for the past 4 years. So I haven't put anything out yet, but I've been trying to kind of, talk to people on social media. And I did a post the other day about mental health because, I mean, again, the time that we're in, I think, especially people who are not being able to go to therapy and being able to go out as much as they used to be, it kind of deteriorates your mental health. So I'm still trying to connect with people on social media and still trying to kind of share my own story. And I actually have a show coming up at the end of the month, which is like my first live show with my own like original music. And
Cool.
Trying to keep that sort of community and make everyone still feel safe and okay. And it's okay if you're feeling down right now, because everybody is.
Well, I think we're all challenged, right? This is unprecedented. So then you have, but we can all curl up, but most of us really can't curl up and get in the fetal position because we have work to do and bills to pay and people to take care of, and we're social beings usually. I feel like it's been a challenge, especially for you all, to pivot. You're natural performers, obviously, and you love to get you deliver a great message with your music. But if there's no venues at the time for the last 7 months or so, it's been difficult to get people out. So I'm excited for your show. All right, let's talk about your music. Where do you get the motivation? You're still relatively young. Where does you're probably very young, actually. Where does your motivation or inspiration come from? Is it broken relationships? Is it what you see on TV? Or, where does it all come from?
It's kind of all over the place. It's funny. Like sometimes I remember one specific time, like I watched like Twin Peaks and I watched through the entire series and kind of had like that emotion of that show. And I was like, I'm going to write a song. And I think it comes a lot of the times weirdly from that. Like I'll watch a movie or watch a TV show and you get that like emotion and connection. And then it's like, now I'm going to write a song about the situation. I wasn't in the situation, but you still have that emotion. I think a lot of the time that's sometimes where it comes from. And if I haven't like slept in a week, I'm like, for some reason, really creative and like have all this. And I think there's no buffer there. So it's like, I've got around 2 hours of sleep these past 3 days. Like, why not create some music? So, but inspiration mostly from those like emotional like TV shows and movies, which is really weird. But for some reason, I think that's like when I get my best writing done. Yeah.
I love that because you obviously there's other things that you can write from. You're getting emotional because it made you feel that way. You got in touch with that. Mm-hmm. I love that though, because you create a song and it doesn't necessarily have to be about you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you post on social media and you're just talking in general and everyone and their brother thinks it's about them. It's similar with what you're talking about on your song. Like I can see something like that. And I would have no idea how to put what I'm feeling into words and music. Mm-hmm. So where did the gift of music come from? Do you come from a musical family?
No, not at all. I mean, my brother's musical, but let's just say I've heard my parents try to do some things, singing and but
yeah, not so good.
Yeah, my brother, thank God, he's more into the production aspect, and I like to say that I'm uncoordinated with playing instruments and such, so that's sort of his realm. But I'm more of the singer in the family. I think my grandfather was a really good singer, but there's not a lot of like musical talent in my family, which is like crazy to think about.
So it skipped a generation.
Yeah, definitely did. 100%.
No offense to your parents, but yeah, it skipped a generation.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about your music. What you've been working on your EP, you said, for 4+ years.
Yes.
What are you going to perform for us today? Give us kind of a history on this song. Tell us a little bit about it.
So this song, a lot of this, I don't think I've ever written a song specifically about me. I write it more of just like these random emotions coming in. So there's a song, it's called Infidelity. I thankfully have never been cheated on, but I like wanted to create like a female angsty like song that was just like, screw you, man. And like, just like that power female where you could just be on the highway going 80 and just blaring it. I think that's what my mission for this song was. So
I love that you can take other things that you haven't experienced and still create the feel. Mm-hmm. That's a gift, I think, because most of the time, if people haven't experienced it, they can't even communicate about it. Well, I don't know anything about that. So I love the fact that you can take the situation, whatever it is, whether it's personal or not, and still create music. I think that's a big gift. All right, Infidelity.
Yes.
All right. Let's have Sophia Warren, guys. We're going to take my ugly mug off. And we're going to highlight Sophia.
Oh, gotta get the guitar out.
Oh. I am still here, by the way.
Okay. This whole StreamYard thing. I'm like, what's going on? Okay. I'm waiting for the right time to call you. 'Cause I don't know if you're being true. And I wanna trust and forgive. But what's a girl supposed to do? Baby, don't go and don't leave. Stay with me. Baby, don't go and don't leave. Stay with me. It was a chilly December day. that you would. Oh, and my heart couldn't take it anymore. That's why I walked out that door. Baby, don't go and don't leave. Stay with me. Baby, don't go and don't leave. Stay with me. Baby, don't go and don't leave. Stay with me. I messed up so many times. I am so sorry.
No, you.
Like, I'm not even getting that. Yeah.
I was very mesmerized. I'm going to. So many things come to mind. First of all, when you first described it, I thought, oh, angsty, infidelity, girl. I was thinking she's going to come out angry like Alanis Morissette, and You Ought to Know, right? Mm-hmm. But you come out sultry and soulful in the performance, and I love it. It was a longing. You know, mm-hmm. There was definitely a longing to the whole thing, and I was totally blown away. Beautiful.
Okay. I messed up so many times. I'm so sorry. I was like, I played it. I'm like, wait, that's not the right
chord. The audience does not know that. The other thing that you did, you know, you've got a smiley face. You went right into a mode of, okay, I'm in this song now, and so I love that. You didn't break a smile. You just were in the moment. That was really, really, really good.
Thank you. I mean, I did totally perfect. Like everything. That was all planned.
Exactly. Nobody knew. I thought it was amazing.
Thank you.
So tell me about the EP. Like, is it coming out soon? Like when you go perform live coming up, are you going to sing songs from that EP?
Yes, it's going to be a couple songs from the EP. And it's funny. Like I think about looking back at certain songs I've written, and it's like, a lot of these songs, it's weird, like looking at it, because it's like growing up with me almost, because some of these songs I wrote like 3 years ago, and I'm like looking at them and I'm like, whoa, this is actually kind of good. I'm like, I should probably add this to the EP. So it's that evolution. And a couple of these songs I wrote a couple years ago, some I wrote 2 weeks ago, but yeah, it's still, some of them are going to be in the EP. Some of them are just kind of singles to put out there, but hopefully the EP will be out soon. I keep saying that, but hopefully.
Listen, we're going to put crossed. We're going to make it. We're going to talk it into existence and make sure it's done. Yes. All right. How can people reach out to you? How can they find you? What's the best way for them to download your music? Tell us all about how to get in touch with Sophia Warren.
So music, when it comes out, it's going to be on all platforms. And then my Instagram and Facebook are both Sophia Warren Music. And then my TikTok, which I have all of my covers on, is Sophia Warren Music with 2 C's at the end.
How is TikTok for an artist before we head out? I'm fascinated by this.
It's a little like there's a lot of artists, so I feel like it's a little diluted, so it's hard to get like barely any traction on there, but I still like posting on there because it's still, you can get some traction somewhat, but it's hard. It's not an easy process at all.
Because I think a lot of people are trying to utilize it. So I love to hear things about other platforms. I think if you're already a creative, so just creating another short video isn't probably a big deal in the scheme of things. But it's good to have it on the different platforms, because people will go there first, and if they like it, they'll go somewhere else, and then they follow you. And so there's, us older people. I haven't experienced TikTok yet, but it's coming. So.
It's interesting.
All right. So you were amazing, Sophia Warren. Thank you. So guys, go to Instagram.com/Sophia Warren Music. You can find her on social media. I tagged her on Facebook. Thank you so much. That was so awesome. All right. Good luck on your performance. Come back anytime you've got a new angst song or anything you want to sing and promote. We'd love to have you back on.
I will. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, guys. We'll see you soon. Go out and support our artists. Artists like Sophia depend on that support all over the world. Doesn't matter where you are. Go to Instagram.com/Sophia Warren Music. We'll see you guys later.